Alright, so the most part of card is already styled. There are left button and social media icons, but besides that we have to create some animations. Next element that we have to work on is button, but actually before we do that I think it would be better if we center text of second paragraph because it will be looking nicer. In order to do that, let's assign to it text align center. Okay, let's go ahead and select button, right card, button. First of all, we need to increase its width. Let's make it 120 pixels. Then create some padding on all four sides, right 7 pixels. And also create some space on top and bottom using margin, right 10 pixels. And then 0 on left and right sides. Alright, so that's the way how button is looking at this time. Actually, I don't want this default background and also border. So let's go ahead and work on them. Change background color. Let's use here tomato. Then get rid of border, right, border none. And also remove default outline, right, outline none. Okay, next. Let's make button a little bit rounded. Use here border radius with the value 25 pixels. Then change font family. In this case, I'm going to use Josephine Sans serif. Then as a color, let's use EEE. And lastly, create shadow effect, right, box shadow with the following values: 5 pixels, then 5 pixels, 20 pixels, and color RGBA 000.4. Alright, so as you can see, button is ready, it's styled, and I think it's looking quite good. Now it's time to style those social media icons. First of all, I want to take care of layout. They should be placed horizontally in a row. So let's select UL element, which has class name social icons. Then define its width as 150 pixels. Get rid of default bullets from list items using list style none. So in order to place icons in a row, I'm going to use Flexbox, right, display flex, and also create even space between items using justify content with value spaced evenly. Alright, as you see, icons are already looking better. We need some space on top and bottom. Let's create it using margin, right 10 pixels on top, then 0 on the right side, then 20 pixels at the bottom, and again 0. Okay, now it looks decent. Next, I want to create a little border at the top of icons. Let's use here a property called border top with the values 1 pixel, solid, and the color 999. So border is created at the top of icons, but it's too close to icons. So let's go ahead and fix it using padding top. Assign to it value 20 pixels. Alright, now everything seems to be good. Let's move on and work on icons. At first, increase their size. Select social icons, then eye element, and increase font size, make it 18 pixels. Last thing regarding social icons is to change colors and give them their original color. Let's select first one, which has class name FA, Facebook, F, and assign to it color 3B5999. Then duplicate it 3 times and change classes and colors. For a second one, write YouTube and its color CD201F. Next one is Twitter as a color, write 55 ACEE. And for last one, change class name as Google Plus G. And write color DD4B39. Alright, so we can say that our cards are styled. I mean, we have styled all the elements inside it. But for now, it's not over because we have to do some cool things. I mean, we're going to create several animations. First effect that I want to create, in this case without animation, is hover. When we hover on card, I want its size to be increased. So let's select card with hover. In order to increase size of element, there are different ways in CSS. One of them is to use transform with scale. So write transform, then scale. By default, each element's scale is set as 1. And if you want to increase its size, then you have to increase value of scale accordingly. In this case, let's insert here argument 1.1. And also, in order to make increase element size smoothly, let's add to card transition, transform, and duration 0.5 seconds. So when we hover, you see that size of card is increasing, and actually it creates nice effect. Alright, last thing that I'm going to do in this video is to create animation for button. When we hover on card, I want to increase button size, and besides that, I want it to be rotated according to Z-axis in different directions. At this time, it maybe sounds a little bit complicated, but it will be clear soon. So let's go ahead and start creating animation. Write keyframes. Let's call animation button rotation. On 0%, we need default values for scale and for rotate. So write transform, then scale with value 1, and rotate Z with value 0. Next step is 5%, on which we need to increase size of button. And also I want to rotate button down on the right side by 5 degrees. So let's duplicate first line and change values, write 5%. Then as a value of scale, insert 1.2 and then 5 degrees. Next step is 10%, on which I want to change just direction of rotation. Instead of right side, we need left side. So let's duplicate again, change 5% into 10%. And instead of 5 degrees, write minus 5 degrees. So that's the idea of entire animation. We need to change directions of rotation in every 5%. So let's duplicate these two lines for 9 times and then quickly change percentage for each step. Next one is going to be 15%, then 20%, 25%, and so on. On 100%, we need again default values. So insert 1 here and 0. Alright, so keyframes is ready. As I said, we need this animation when we hover on the card. So let's select it, add hover, then select button, and assign to it animation with the following values. Write name, button rotation, then duration, write 2 seconds. We need delay, write 1 second, and then as a value of animation timing function, write linear. So when we hover on card, size of it is increasing, and after 1 second delay, button starts animating. Alright, I think that's really nice and cool. Hope you like it. Next animation is going to be typing text with blinking cursor. It will be created using CSS and JavaScript in the next lecture.